Good morning and happy new year, everybody. Scoot that chair in. It is your coach. And I'm actually looking at the Discord right now and realizing that I still have not made a video on vocal chops. So I was going to do this video on something else, right? I was going to do a new sidechain video, which I will still do. But right now, right this second, while I have 20 minutes or so, we're going to do a vocal chop video, right? So here's the project that I was going to use for sidechain, but we're going to just use it for vocal chops real quick. Show you guys kind of how that goes. So, first things first, you're going to chop some vocals. You're going to need something to chop. I have a couple suggestions here, right? So let me go to my folder. And you could use an acapella, which I might do. See what I have here. Quite a few acapellas here, nothing crazy, but a decent amount. I might try that. Maybe not. Problem with acapellas is sometimes they can sound like shit, and that means that you get shitty cuts, and then the vocal chop sounds like shit, so that's not best. The other thing you could do is you could use like a vocal on splice. In particular, I'm a big fan of the Dylan Matthew vocals. These make great chops. His tone is fantastic. The recordings are very high quality. Here comes a sneeze. I fucking played myself. So, let's see what we can find here. That one's too wet and there's not any syllables. He's not saying shit, so that one is kind of just like it's like running through like a filter. Hold tight. I'll be here with you all night. That one should work okay. So let's just drag and drop that into our project. Let me move it over a little bit. I don't want it to be right there. All right. And what we're going to do, we're going to make sure that the warping is turned off. I don't care what tempo your project's at right now. We're not there yet. So warping off. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to chop up all of these syllables. So like right there. Get rid of that guy right there. Oops. We'll just we'll pull this out to like right there and trim the rest of that off. I'm gonna skip this one. This one doesn't sound great. Take this guy. Move him back over here. That one won't sound good, so let's move to this one. That one doesn't sound great either. Let's just move forward. One's okay. Grab that one. A little bit of a pitch bend he did with his voice there, but fantastic. Beautiful. Guy over here. So here's what we have so far. So we got a couple syllables chopped up there. And let's just grab a few more. That one's good. Nice little M syllable. That one's not as good. That one's great. Nice little K sound. There we go. Beautiful. That guy, bring him right over here. Beautiful. I'll take this guy. I don't know that he's going to be great, but he might be good enough. We'll take him. Okay, a little bit of a lag. Put that down right there. Take that guy. Skip this. That one's good. Lastly, that guy right there. All right. I think that's the whole stem. Yep. Perfect. Cool. Go to this. Go to this. And yeah, let's just drag these guys back over here. All right, so here's what we got now. Beautiful. Beautiful. We got some good stuff to work with. Let me turn up my headphones a little bit. All right. So the first thing that I'm going to do here is I'm going to just I'm going to put an EQ on in a utility so that I can send this vocal to mono. The second thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to put a beef on. Dial this back down a little bit. Now the reason why I want this in mono, you'll see in a minute here. But first things first, I'm going to go ahead and try to put an auto tune on. Now this is a case-by-case scenario. The Dylan Matthew vocals are definitely more tuned than most, but that doesn't make them perfect. And when you're chopping, little discrepancies that might not make a big difference when you're listening to a straight up a cappella vocal will make a big difference when it's presented in chop form. So let me figure out what key we're in here. Load up a try a Serum. So we're in E minor. So let's just go back here and set this C. Let's go to E minor. And we'll start the tuning really fast and then dial that back. Okay, so a little bit there goes a long way. And it doesn't sound super auto-tuned, but it definitely helps clean those up a little bit. It's going to make those chops sound better for the end product. Cool. All right, now, an optional step, which you don't need to do, but it can make it sound different, better subjectively, depending on its case-by-case scenario again. Putting a little Ultra Boy in here, I do the mono sandwich again because of the weird phasing shit. Putting a little Ultra Boy in here and then adjusting the formant. You can automate the formant. I would not recommend automating the pitch, but you can, like I said, automate the formant. So you could do that like towards the end once you've already had like a melody laid out, which we haven't done yet. So let's get to that now. So we're in E minor and we got to arrange this in a melody. This is the part where there's less of a science because you kind of just have to know how to write a melody. What I'm going to do is I'm going to write a melody in Serum, and then I'm going to recreate it with these vocal chops, and I'll show you how I'm going to do that. So create a MIDI clip. We'll just mute this guy real quick. Sorry, I'm still clunky on PC. It's not as fast for me yet. All right, so that's a decent melody. I think it'll work well with these vocal chops. I can already kind of hear it in my head. Decent amount of repetition here so that it should be pretty easy to program. So let's grab some syllables and just make this, right? So we're gonna need a long one here for this stretch. Let's try this guy right here. First of all, one thing I should do is I should cut all these, move them over here so that I have all of these to pick from. Grab that guy again, stick him there. So this one's kind of a little bit like a two-part. There's a little pitch bend going on right here, so we'll just take the second half. So I know this doesn't follow the melody yet, but we're just going to lay out the syllables first. Take from here. Try that guy. Try something here. All right, cool. So I think those are decent syllables. Sounds decent already, and it's not even making like a decent melody. So what we're gonna do now is we have to tune these to sort of match this melody. So here we have like a, what is this? It's a G, F sharp, D, and then a B. So I'm sure there's other ways that you could do this. Probably one way with routing MIDI to auto tune, but that can turn into a hot mess real quick. This is the way that I prefer to do it. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to set the warp. I'm going to put it on tones. I think tones is the best once you have a vocal tone in place. You have a transient at the beginning, for example, like right here. There's that M transient. If we were warping this one, I would, let me find a way to get to it. If we were warping this one, I would want to make sure that we preserve this transient, which would be right here. So we'd set a warp marker right here. So when we start stretching, it's only everything after the transient. We're not doing that right now, but that's just as an example. See if this sounds better pitched down. We'll try it up for now. And set it to tones. And this one sounds funky. Okay. Okay, so I had to sort of deviate from my initial plan. These two notes are up an octave in this melody, and I had to lower them because they just sounded a little bit too wonky. So I'm going to try to fix that with a little altar boy stage, but let's continue mapping out the melody first. Let's just pull this guy back, and then take all these guys again. Throw it down right there. All right, cool. So we have that in place. Let's try some little altar boy, right? So let's grab this formant. So now I'll use the pitch automation as well. Excuse me, that was weird. I will use the pitch automation because I still do want to try to pitch these up, but I'm going to try to do it in a little Ultra Boy instead of with the sample. It's sounding a little bit funky. I'm going to get rid of that, and we're going to try one more time with the sample. We might try some different warp modes. Let's turn this up. Complex sounds the best. It's not great, but it's not terrible. It's not as bad as it could be. Compensate, I'm going to lower the form in here. Sounds a little bit rough. Let's try another auto tune after the little Ultra Boy. Excuse me, after the mono, after the little Ultra Boy. Yeah, that doesn't sound terrible. I'm okay with that. So now what I'll need to do is I'll need to duplicate this automation here, that form and automation, just like that. Oops, and I also need to do that. Pull this guy back a little bit to right there. Okay, so I'm like okay with that. That would be the first step in me doing like a vocal chop right there. I would probably fill out the melody a little bit more, but I would start it like this. Oops, damn it. Cool. So some further processing that we might need to do here. I would do a low pass filter after, right up against the lowest fundamental frequency that we have in the melody sequence. Cool. I would probably put a stereo of some sort on this. I'm going to start with a chorus, because a chorus would smooth it out a little bit as well. I might not have it this strong. Cool, that's not a bad place to start. Probably worth trying another beef as post after the chorus. And lastly, just trying like a stereo straight up, stereo guy. Cool. So for context of production, right, if we wanted to like fill this in and kind of hear what it sounds like, right, let me try, let's grab like a sound preset. Try this guy. Oh, I'm gonna need to make that hotkey back on my mouse. Try off, make some sort of little chords. And let's, we could swap this guy out now. We don't need him. Any day now. Come on, that'd be nice. Perfect. Beautiful. And there you go. That's your vocal chop. Yeah, like I said, really all that I would do further than that is probably flesh out the melody a little bit more, which I might do right now and just make this a fucking song. But yeah, this is how I do my vocal chops. It's not for everybody. There's a certain skill set that is needed that kind of lies behind it that isn't as much able for me to teach, such as like conducting melodies the way that I do. I would encourage you to go look at my melodies video. That's also on the Patreon. But yeah, if you have any questions, feel free to reach out to me. I'm more than happy to help. This really covers the gist of it though, I promise. And hopefully this will help you, and happy chopping. I'm going to end the video now and go make one about sidechains. So hope you like it. This is your coach. Peace.